and it got a bit boring. So they decided to do it a little bit differently. They tell each other stories in music. And of course, what came along with music came dancing, and that became folk dancing. So folk dancing is a very old-fashioned way of communicating little stories. And when you watch our dancers here today, watch what they do with their hands, with their feet, how they twist their bodies, and it has a meaning. Now, whatever meaning you want to lay to it, please don't share it with me. We'll tell you a little bit more about it later. So that's the major amount of what I've got to say. I will tell you a few more words about each dance so that we put it into perspective. And so what we do is we start off here by going the Trense Pola. Now, Pola is a young lady that loves going to parties. And when she loves going to parties, she dances her way there. So this one, watch them come up on the stage, is called Trense Pola. Now that's called Trense Pola. Trense Pola, all the dances come from various sources, not just the trades that people have, but also the areas, the seasons. There's quite a variety. And the next one needs a slight introduction. It's called Tulips from Amsterdam. Now those of you that want to sing along, by all means do so. But most people don't realise where tulips come from. Approximately 400 years ago, tulips were given to the Dutch ambassador in Istanbul, or at that time it was called Constantinople in Turkey. And our dancers hate these colours. They all have the same colours, 3 colours: brown, brown and brown. And so when they were taken through the Dutch ambassador across to the Netherlands, they then reconnected them up on a deeper level and got all the different colours. That's how tulips actually eventuated. About 5 years ago, I was in Istanbul. It still had 3 colours: brown, brown and brown. So there you go. So what happens is the Netherlands is not only famous for that, one of its most famous songs is called Tulips from Amsterdam. origin of these particular people, they were from the migrant families in Australia that came down during the 50s, 60s, and some of them in the 70s. And the idea was that it was a very strange country, very different habits to the European habits. So they set up a social club. And one day somebody said, let's retain some of the old-fashioned ideas from back there in Twente. Now, Twente is actually like our Gippsland. It's like an area where they do the farming. They have cows, they have grains, they have lots of things. And that's one of the reasons why their costume is a little bit different. And so somebody came up with the idea of having a folk dance group. And for the last 35 years, these guys have been folk dancing. Well, these are another generation. They're not that old. There's a few others have come there beforehand. So the whole thing is, it's not only a fun place to be, it's also a place where you can enjoy yourself, and later on, when you get a chance to, have a chat to them, get your photograph taken. And if you're nice about it, they'll even let you test out the clogs. The next one is called Limburgse Polka. Limburg is the southernmost province of the Netherlands. The capital city is called Maastricht. Its most famous son these days is a gentleman called Andre Rieu. You've never heard of him? I got that rocket. And they're a real happy crowd. Most people don't realise that apart from quite a religious community, it's also the centre of carnival. So they combine the carnival and the camaraderie of the people there, and that's what Andre Rieu actually brings out in his music. This one is the happy people of Limburg. It's called Limburgse Polka.
Polka moet wel met aan de school. En twee, weer draaien allebei. Kijk wie de polka moet wel met aan de school. Je drinkt met eend, je drinkt met twee, je drinkt met drie en ik tel met mij. Stap op zee, draaien school en dan gaan we op mijn kont. Je drinkt met eend, je drinkt met twee. Ik drink met drie en ik tel met niet. Stap op zee, ik draai eens rond en dan ga ik op mijn kont. Larie, lario, larie, larie, lario.
It's a bit lonesome doing it without a partner, but it's fun all round. What happens is the actual seasons over in Europe are virtually the opposite to what we have here in Australia. And they are heading towards their winter, while we are heading towards Not sure. What happens is, in their winter, they also have ice, they have snow, well below freezing. And this is one of the more popular numbers. They often do it on skates. It's called the Snow Waltz. It's a very old-fashioned song. It used to be called in German Sneeuwwalzer. My German gets better every performance. And in Dutch, it's called the Sneeuwwaltz. As you can see, it's quite a social event and it's lots of fun. And it's the old-fashioned way, before the days of disco, before the pubs, before all those wonderful social places that we have today. People used to go out and they used to dance together. Very old-fashioned way of having fun. And that's how you got to know the opposite sex. That's how you got to courting. That's how you met the other side, and it's kept on going ever since. The next one is called heel and toe, hakaton. The dance itself comes from an island called Terschelling. And for those of you that know how to say it, you must be Dutch. Terschelling is one of 5 islands in the northern part of the Netherlands. It's in a place called the Waddenzee. These days it's a place where holiday makers go. But back in the old days it was just a piece of rock. And some of the fishermen used to come offshore there to do their fishing. And one of the dances they used to do was called heel and toe. This is called hakaton. The tulip farm here at Tesla's is our second home. Our first home is the Dutch Fair, which is the third weekend of February every year, and it has been going for 35 or so years. And for those of you that wish to know a little bit more about the Dutch, by all means feel free to go to Sandown. It's not quite as far out as Monbulk, but what happens is you have the Dutch there, and they call it the Holland Festival. And for those of you that want to go there, by all means feel free, the third weekend of February. And our dancers will be there also. We've been supporting it every year. Of course, we've been here for quite a number of years, and we thoroughly enjoy walking amongst the tulips, and very colourful, and we thank you for coming here today. The next one is actually called Ripe Gasten, and it's a harvest dance, and what it means is you go out to the paddock and you go and cut up your crops and stick them away, and you sort of smile at the opposition right in front of you, and then you sort of canoodle a bit out the side. And I don't know what the rest of the story is, but I'll let your imagination sort of run riot on that one. It's actually what happens is when you do a little bit of harvesting, and afterwards it's time to celebrate. This one is called Ripe Gasten. You have to be very sober to be able to do that sort of hand clapping. Our guys do a lot of that in practice. And then what you do is, okay, we'll give you a miss for a while and have a look on the left and have a look on the right, and we'll get back to the original one. That appears to be the best partner for this particular time. Ripe Gasten. The next one is called Klompen Polka. Klompen or clogs. Most people don't realise that clogs were worn all over Europe. They're about 1,200 years old, and before the days of leather, before the days of plastic, before the days of shoes. And what happened was people had nothing more to sort of do than make sure, keep their feet wrapped up in rags. That was one way to do it. And eventually they came up with clogs, and everybody wore clogs. Ireland, Britain, France, Germany, other places like even Poland, even as far south as Italy, but certainly Switzerland and Austria. Now the unfortunate part about it is the Dutch are a bit stingy. Everybody gave away clogs and put shoes on. Guess what? They hung on to them. It's the best icon that the Netherlands have got. They've made hundreds of millions out of that one. There is something to be said for being a cheapskate. So the Dutch have got clogs. It's easy to wear, they're warm, they're dry, and you kick them off real easy at the back door, so Mum knows that you're not going to dirty the house as you come through. So this one is called Klompen Polka. Okay, fellas, hands over your head. Come on, Bob. Time for the girls. Go, girls. Yeah, the girls don't do much of this. They look pretty. Too simple. Us fellas will do it. Just for a moment, a little bit about the costume. Most people don't realise that the Dutch do not have a national costume. Every place has its own fashions, has its own colours and its own idiosyncrasies. What that means is they all dress up a specific way in certain areas. Now what these particular people come from Twente, 30 kilometres south or so of Amsterdam, and you go due east until you get to the German border, and just before it you've got lots of places there like Almelo, Hengelo, Enschede, Winterswijk, Eibergen, places like that, and that is a big area called Twente, like our Gippsland. That's a farming community, so their dress is much simpler, much more sober than from the West. In the West, they dress up real fancy, lots of colours, great for the tourists, take your money there. In fact, if you look at the clogs from the West, they're painted, whereas our clogs are white. I ran out of shoe cleaning materials. I ran out of sandpaper yesterday, so I couldn't clean mine. But it gives you an idea that the actual dress code is totally different between each area. The next one is called Sterren Polka. Lots of polkas all over the place. A polka is just a dance of happiness, and this one celebrates the idea of stars all over the sky. It comes from a place called Dubelby in the old Czech Republic. Not Britain at all. This one is called Sterren Polka. For those of you that would like to dance, we will give you that opportunity in about another 5 to 10 minutes. Those people that wish to know a little bit more about the Tukkers, there are some brochures up here on the stage. We do a lot of presenting for lots of organisations. We've performed for the football at the grand final many years ago. We've actually even been as far as Queensland and places like New Zealand, and they all want us to come back.
No. Not anymore.
Nothing. Yep, we're back on air. And as a result of that, we get to be very well known over the years. Now, with all the years that we've been doing this, we've got up a website, and if you'd like to see a little bit more of this, hey, we have a lot of fun with this, and we certainly appreciate you guys actually standing here giving us the applause today. The next one is called Ace Polka Potpourri. And if you can imagine in Europe, where they've got ice, thick ice, and snow, and a very cold winter, There's a place even in the Netherlands called the Elfstedentocht where they skate 225 kilometres. And the actual record is something like about 3.5 hours to cover that distance. So obviously they've got a lot of water over there, a lot of ice, and this one is actually the sort of dance they do, which is often carried out on ice. So watch our members as they do ace, polka, potpourri. So that's what they do on ice, not on snow. The next one is called Daar bij die Molen, there by the mill. It's one of the all-time favourites of the Dutch. Anybody who's ever been in Holland has heard it. Anybody who's ever sort of had anything to do with Netherlands, they know, there by the mill. It's about a couple that would really like to live on the mill, get married, raise their family there, and have a secure future. The Netherlands is actually part of the lowlands of Europe. The main part, the western part, is like 3.5 to 4.5 metres underwater, under the ocean. And before the days of electric motors and power companies, they used to have windmills. And the windmills did everything, from sawing, grinding corn, from things such as pumping. So the Dutch windmills were a very important part of the Dutch landscape. And for those of you that have been there, you'll see that we still have a few of them there. So this one is called There by the Mill, Daar bij die Molen. Feel free to sing along. This is the last number coming up, and rather than us have all the fun, what we'd like you to do is join in. Now, for those Dutchies that know all about this, it's called Polonaise. So we asked them to join in too. So what I'd like you to do, guys, all you Tukkers, grab yourself a partner, follow our leader rule, and as we follow our leader, this is the Dutch conga line called Polonaise.
We could probably follow him there. Yes.
Are we ready? Polonaise!
Heidewitzka, vooruit geen kas, want dat gemeten komt me niet van pas. Ik heb nu lang genoeg gezeur van jou gehad, en ik ben dat alles nu toch wel mooi zat. Heidewitzka, wordt met de grijs, het is onze tijd voor de gezelligheid. Ja, ik kom liever een Tiroler. Het is dat mij zo goed, het is dat mij zo goed, geef mij maar liever een Tiroler. Want die doet het altijd goed. En van je opa, 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 tatara, tatara, tatara. En van je opa, 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 tatara, la 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 la. Lieve meid, heb jij vanavond nog tijd? Hey ja, oh. Met z'n twee aan de zwier hebben wij veel plezier. Hey ja, oh. Lieve meid, heb jij vanavond nog tijd? Hey ja, oh. Dan gaan we mijn kind met z'n twee door het lint tot een uur of 3:30. Winnie, wanna, we gaan de hele nacht. Winnie, wanna, wie had dat ooit gedacht? Winnie, wanna, we gaan niet meer naar huis. Winnie, wanna, want er is niemand thuis. Maar oh nee, wanneer je morgen wakker wordt, dan is de dag toch veel te kort om op te staan. Dus alleen, slapen dat doen we maar niet meer. Is beter deze ene keer zo door te gaan. Roekie, soekie, roekie, soekie, roekie, soekie. Zo zingt het hele koor. Roekie, soekie, roekie, soekie. Roekie, soekie, zo gaan we vrolijk door. La 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 la, la 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 la, ja la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. We zetten pauze, we zetten alle stoelen aan de kant. De dansvloer op kan bouwen we een feestje. De springen we niks uit het land. Wij vieren feest, dus weg met de Maleizen, want nu is het tijd voor de Polonaise. Hollandijzen, van hier tot Rotterdam. Bij Hoevelaken linksaf, en wij zakken door. We zullen niet gaan dorsten en Willem krijgt een rietje van achter bij de schouders. Dat wordt weer lachen, dat wordt een dolle boel. Als je pas getrouwd bent, krijg je koekjes bij de thee. Leven op je brood, kinderen op je schoot. Als je pas getrouwd bent, breng je bloemen voor de mee. En de rekening van het café. Omdat het zo lekker is, omdat het zo lekker is. Ik heb 7 jaar geleden met de meid van ome Chris. Bij ons in de Jordaan zing je van hela, hola, hola, die bij ons in de Jordaan. Zie je de jongens en de meiden dansen gaan. Als jij bij ons in de Jordaan, waar de bloemen voor de ramen staan en de Amsterdamse humor nooit verloren gaat, zolang de lepel in de breipot staat. We vieren feest tot morgen vroeg en zingen wat valt eraan, wat valt eraan, wat valt eraan. We zakken door tot morgen vroeg en zingen wat valt eraan, wat valt eraan tot morgen vroeg. Jij bent de mooiste van Stamcafé. Hori, 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 jij bent de mooiste van Stamcafé. Hori, 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 en bij handen in de kelder is nog zat. En bij handen in de kelder is nog zat. Ja, bij handen in de kelder, bij handen in de kelder, bij handen in de kelder is nog zat. Zo gaat het een tijdje door, tenslotte zakt het hele koor arm in arm dood nu op de grond. De kastelein die heeft een lol, hij gooit nog eens de glazen vol en nikt het zijn mooi blondje op de mond. Ze kijkt me aan, verbaasd, wat doe je nou? Je moet wel doorgaan, anders dan vertel ik alles aan je vrouw. S'nachts na 2, dan gaan we met z'n allen naar de